a second real quick and see if YouTube gonna try to play with me. I guess not. Okay, so ooh, bubbles. Bubbles. What's going on, fam? It's Larry Wiggins Bay. Look, I just wanted to share something with y'all. Matter of fact, the timer's right here, so I got 15 minutes. Let's see if we can knock this out right. But so the title of this video is financial empowerment is the goal. So financial literacy is the solution, right? Um, and what brings this up is I know a lot of you heard the statement or the scripture that says, I can't do both. I'm sorry.
Do what?
I hear that.
Oh.
I know a lot of people have heard the statement or scripture that says, our people will perish for lack of knowledge, right? And it's true. You know what I'm saying? Lack of health knowledge, lack of financial information, lack of, you know what I'm saying? Just like how to live life type shit, what to and what not to do, right? Um, but you know me, what I focus on is, the financial aspect, right? Um, I think what's going on so much in the industry, just in the world, in the society, right, is that people are being miseducated or programmed or conditioned against themselves, right? They're definitely not being taught um, certain keys and strategies to success, right? So, oh, fuck. Hold on real quick. They're not being taught the keys and strategies to success. I think she's gonna be late. She has about 5 more minutes, and I'm gonna tell her don't worry about it. I just talked to her, and she wasn't nowhere near on the way. But I'll let you know in just a minute. Keys and strategies to success. They're missing, right? We're not getting representation in certain rooms, certain organizations, so we're not getting certain information, right? Um, in 1968, the United States went through like a reform period, right, where they realized that in order for them to be able to continue to generate taxes on a basis that would allow the country to, continue operating at a certain level, um, they had to kind of figure out a way to stop people from essentially building wealth, right? Um, if you do your research, you'll realize that a lot of these retirement plans, these tax plans that so many people are somewhat familiar with, were created 1968, 1976, right? This is when your 401ks, your 403bs, your TRPs, TSPs, all those tax deferred retirement plans were created, right? And around that time is when businesses, corporations started pushing their employees to use these plans to save for retirement, right? There's a lot of money behind that. But a lot of money for who, right? Before the 1960s, what was going on is that a lot of people had started to understand and leverage the understanding or the information of the power of life insurance, right? The abilities and capabilities of life insurance, right? When you have a properly structured policy. And a lot of these people, a lot of names you'll recognize: J.C. Penney, uh, fucking McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, Disney. I'm forgetting a couple of them, but a lot of these Walmart, what I'm saying, the Rockefellers' wealth, a lot of that was built off of leveraging life insurance, right? Because back then, people focused more on what life insurance could do as opposed to what it is, right? Nowadays, because of everything else and all the misinformation that's out there, people don't know to focus on what it does. People typically only focus on what it is, and because people have heard or sometimes not had the best experience because they weren't educated or their people weren't educated, right? There's a lot of understanding that's missing. Let's just say it like that. But it's by design. Because like I said, before 68, people was doing this. It was working. The United States understood, well, if more people figure that out and start doing that, we not gonna have the taxes that we want people to be paying, so we can take over the world type shit. So here's what we gonna do. We gonna put these into place. We gonna pay the companies to promote these retirement plans, and we gonna move everybody that way. We not even gonna tell nobody. We gonna keep this quiet, right? So what you'll see in the industry is between the 70s and nowadays, the the number of licensed agents in the industry is almost like 50%, right? It's like it's 40% of the other number. Whole time the population of the United States is growing, right? So to kind of like illustrate what I'm saying, most of the time when you ask middle class people, like if I say life insurance to average people, not $250,000 earners and up, not $500,000 earners and up. We having this conversation with them, they have a whole different take and perspective, right? But when I'm talking to average people, middle class America, when you say life insurance, the first thing that comes to mind in most people is death or a scam, right? But this is only because middle class ain't getting this information. We not in these rooms, right? And for a long time, the majority of the industry has been trained to go for commission as opposed to working for the client, right? Work for commission as opposed to working for the client. What I mean by that is, for a long time, and even now still, in a lot of cases, companies push what's going to make them money as opposed to what's actually going to help the client, right? And the idea behind that is most companies want to be money managers, right? I don't want to manage people's money. I want to empower people to manage their own money, right? And that's why I deal with the people I deal with. But so when you ask middle class America, what is life insurance? What's the first thing that comes to mind when we say life insurance? They, you know what I'm saying? A few of them, well, look, wealthy people understand that it's a tool or an instrument that allows them to accelerate their ability to build wealth, right? Middle class America don't understand that. This is why wealthy people are using and buying up more and more life insurance as this recession comes, right? I don't know if you know who Michael Burry is or if you're familiar with the movie The Big Short, but go watch the movie The Big Short or Margin Call. You'll know who Michael Burry is. But before that happened, before the '08 recession, he bet a few $1 billion that the market was going to crash, and he made billions of dollars off that bet. Just recently, he put another $1.6 billion up that the market is going to crash again in or around June of 2024. Right? Now, that's a gamble to some people, right? But when you consider that after Burry made this statement, Warren Buffett withdrew like $26 billion out of the markets, right? You got to understand, like, when people know how money moves, you might want to do what they doing, you know what I'm saying, and not be worrying about what everybody else is talking about, right? Because if you know who Warren Buffett is, one of the most prolific investors in America, in history for real, in American history, let's say, billionaire, he got 2 rules to money. Rule number 1 is don't lose money. Rule number 2 is don't forget rule number 1. Right? So if this man is moving his money out of the market, it stands to reason there might be a reason for that. Right? And he'll tell you over a long term, this is a good place to put your money. You're going to see growth. You know what I'm saying? Slow money is better than no money, whatever. And that's how he's made a lot of his money in investing and investing in the stock market or whatever. But if this is how this man has built his wealth and his fortune, right, his massive fortune, but he's finna take $26 billion out of the market, well, you got to ask yourself, where is he putting his money? Wealthy people know where other wealthy people are putting their money, right? So we know that there's a lot of ways that you can make money, but there's only 2 or 3 ways money grows, right? Like you can put your money in the bank, which a lot of people consider is safe. Like when you walk in the bank, you see them letters FDIC, right? Your money's supposed to be insured up to 250,000. So as long as you got below $250,000 in the bank get robbed, you'll get your money in 6 to 9, 12 months or whatever. If the bank don't go insolvent behind it, right? You'll get your money. But banks are cool because they're supposedly safe, right? But you don't never really see any growth. Like I could probably ask anybody on here, when's the last time your bank sent you a check for doing business with them, right? Like never, right? Not to mention they kind of safe, but the banks would be the first ones to tell on you to the IRS if you got too much money in your account or you putting too money in too fast or you taking money out too fast. So banks, they're safe, but you don't really see no growth and you don't have no privacy, right? And that's one thing wealthy people want with their money too, is privacy, right? But then you consider, so that's cool, but then you got variable ways to grow your money, right? And this is with like interest, right? This is stocks, bonds, real estate. Um, there's another one: stock, bonds, real estate, stock market, whatever. But oh, and when you put your money in fixed accounts, it's taxed now. That's the other thing, right? When you're looking at how your money is going to grow, you got to consider how it's taxed also. So fixed accounts, bank accounts, tax now. Variable accounts, tax later. But the thing is, are taxes going up or are they going down? Right? Because if you consider that 80% of the cash on hand, the fiat currency that the United States has, 80% of that currency has been created in the last 4 years, right? And the United States has been around since 1776, but let's say 1933, the Federal Reserve was enacted, and that's when they started using Federal Reserve notes. So let's just say from 1933 to now, almost 100 years, 80% of the currency that's been created has been created in the last 4 years. And we ain't even at 100 years yet, because 33, that's 10 more years. We in 90 years. So, you know what I'm saying? That's where inflation comes from, right? When there's all this money being produced, it depreciates the value of the currency, right? That's why you feel like prices are going up. You know who gets stuck with that bill? Like, like how that gets paid back? Taxpayer funds, your money, right? And if you really look back, if you go do your research right now, is like the lowest tax rate that we've experienced in history. I think it's like 37%, right? It's really more like 50 when you consider the extra taxes that they tax you on everything else you buy after they tax your money that you know what I'm saying, got that you work for type shit. But we'll just say 37%. But considering this inflation, this massive inflation that we're going through right now, you think taxes are going up or going down? Right? So how did they trick us? Well, not me, but how they trick so many people into putting their retirement into a fund that's going to be heavily or more taxed later, right? And not to mention, all these retirement plans are linked to the stock markets and, you know what I'm saying, like bank markets and all that. Like in 2020, in a span of 22 days, the stock market lost like 20%, right? Matter of fact, in '08, it lost like 40% in like 30, 45 days, some shit like that. So if you're a person that's on the verge of retirement, at the point where the market crashes, right? Let's say you had $1 million. Most people don't see that. Let's say you had $100,000 in your account for retirement. Now it's supposed to carry you. But in 45 days, you lose 40 grand. Like, what does that feel like? I don't know. And I'm not never gonna know. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to help some other people not ever find out, right? But like, how did they get so many people? How did they dupe so many people into like falling for this okie doke for real? Well, one, because people don't really pay attention, and two, because people don't understand money. But well, that's the mission, right? We know. I said that already. The last way that money grows is indexed, right? Oh, and with variables, you get growth, but it's not really safe. And it ain't private either. You know what I'm saying? Once again, rich people want privacy with their money. Wealthy people, when you got some money, you don't want everybody to know you got money, right? That's why they say more money, more problems. But you don't have them problems if motherfuckers don't know you got money. You know what I'm saying? So there's a way to put your money away where it can work for you, right? It's legal, right? It's safe, right? It's private, right? And you get all the benefits and none of the headache, right? Oh, that's indexing, right? Because with the index strategy, right? And when you're indexing connected to like a permanent life insurance policy, right? With cash value and all that. What's going on, Pat? Um, you get growth, you get safety, you get privacy, you get tax benefits. You're not taking no losses, right? Like your account will grow when the account is growing, when the markets are growing. But in those times where you're losing, right, where the market is losing, you're not taking those losses, right? So there's a way to secure and protect your wealth, right? There's a way to reduce your tax liability. There's a way to secure your savings from the threat of rapid inflation, right? But it all starts with a higher level of financial literacy than what you're at right now. I mean, because if you didn't know this information, if some of this is new to you or it sounds familiar, you just don't know how to implement it in your life so you can leverage it for your benefit, right? That's what I'm here for. That's what this mission is about, right? Because like I said, we know that people will perish for lack of knowledge. But the lack of like if you can agree that financial literacy is something that everybody needs to know, but that most of us are never taught, right? This is the information that people need, the information to change their situation, right? The solution to a lot of people's problems, the key to long-term generational wealth building, right? Asset accumulation, to accelerate your capabilities of wealth building, right? These are the things that y'all need to know, right? So we here to give them to you, and I'm not even charging. We doing free classes Tuesday and Saturday if you're in the San Antonio area. If you know me or you know somebody that know me, damn, you need something to drink? You thirsty?
You thirsty?
I mean, shit, you.
I was laughing. Sorry.
I mean, okay. I want to know the joke too. Giggle, giggle.
Well, hurry up.
Huckle, huckle. Shit, I want to chuckle. Fuck. But anyways, if you know me or you know anybody that know me and this is, you know what I'm saying, you want some more information about what's going on, don't hesitate to get with me because everybody needs it. I got the time to show you. Sit down. We can break it down. And I can do a personal illustration to show you how you can implement this information for you in your life, right? But if you see value in it and you know I'm going to get paid for real. Y'all know me well enough to know I'm going to get paid. But if you see value in it and you want to position yourself to monetize this information, I can show you how to do that too, right? But my real goal, my ultimate goal is to get this information to as many people as possible, as fast as possible. So maybe you're not ready for this information. Maybe it went way over your head, but you got a cousin or a homie or an auntie or an uncle that you know, they always talking about money and they will get it. Man, put me in touch with them. You know what I mean? Because I can help them, they can help you, we can help each other. You know what I'm saying? It may not all be for you right now yet, but at some point in time, you're going to need this. You're going to hit the lottery or something. You're going to get that job you want. You're going to start that business and it's going to boom. You might not have it right now, but you're going to have it at some point. And people don't get lucky, right? The only way you get lucky is by being prepared for that moment so that you can capitalize on that opportunity you've been presented with. And if you're not prepared, you're not going to be ready. You're not going to be lucky. You know how they say a fool and his money are soon parted? Right? Well, if you don't know what to do with the money before you get it, chances are you ain't going to have it for too long. So let's sit down, 15, 20 minutes, we'll have a conversation, and I'll show you how money works and how money grows. And if you want to know more, you know what I'm saying, we can set up a later conversation to, you know what I'm saying, show you implementation, execution, all that old stuff, right? So it's Larry Wiggins, Bay, Mr. Lawful Money, the bag man. I want to urge, encourage, and implore that you apply yourself to supply your wealth because the only limitations you'll ever have are those you apply and accept on yourself. If you or anybody you know is looking for a way to increase, accelerate, multiply, diversify, protect, or secure their income, to looking for a way to build generational wealth, or you hate your job, you looking for a pivot, you know you can't keep doing what you're doing and provide your family with the life that they deserve, it's time for us to have a conversation. So, you know what I'm saying? Or have a good day at work. I mean, if you love your job that much, you know what I'm saying? By all means, do what's best for you. But if you know it's time for a change, fam, Let's get you the information that you need to change your situation. All right? Bye. I got some shit I need to do. I'll talk to y'all later. You know what I'm saying? End. Bing.